This is a great honor for every fan of the Dallas Cowboys. I'm honored to be in the NFL.
What can I say? Mamba out.
What's up, everybody? It's your boy Jay McLovin here on the afternoon show with Chris and Tony. What a nice day to be alive. The SEC is down to one team left, I think, Chris. Wow, what a hell of a good weekend. I hope you guys had a good weekend. Hope you guys had a good New Year's. I know my New Year's was pretty good. We did champagne and all kinds of accoutrements of food I've never seen before, but tasted like amazingness. How was y'all's day? Or how was y'all's New Year's?
Pretty good. Not too bad. Didn't do a whole lot. Just watch football, man. New Year's Eve and New Year's Day. New Year's Day was outstanding for us IU fans. That's for sure. Maybe not so much for the SEC and especially Alabama. There's a lot of people upset in Alabama right now, especially old Feinbein or Finbein or whatever his name is. He's very unhappy. Well, guys, I think we're going to have maybe a guest here in a little bit, maybe. Friend of mine and Chris's professional wrestler may be coming on with us. We'll see. Let's start off with the Miami Ohio State game that was played Wednesday night, New Year's Eve night. Miami just jumping all over Ohio State early. Ohio State coming back. Look, honestly, I'll be honest with you. I thought Ohio State was going to come back and beat them, and then Miami took over again there in the last 7-8 minutes of that fourth quarter and dominated again and won the game 24-14. Miami 291 total yards of offense, 153 rushing. I think that's the big one. And had the ball 33 minutes of the game. Ohio State 332 total yards, 287 passing, but only 45 rushing. And the big keys got sacked 5 times and 2 interceptions. So pretty interesting game. Jay, your thoughts?
Yeah, man. Talk about the upset of the world, right? I did not see Miami taking out Ohio. That just wasn't on my radar, man. And Miami came in, and I mean, Cristobal and Beck. I mean, Carson Beck, man. Hey, I guess I forget sometimes that he was the quarterback at Georgia. So I mean, it's not like he can't lead a team to a national title. It was interesting. Yeah, Carson Beck. I mean, he had a serviceable day. Now, his day wasn't exactly elite, Tony, but he did give you a touchdown. He did give you 26 yards of rushing. And the big thing for that, the one thing I love with a quarterback is they don't turn the ball over. Don't give me no fumbles. Don't give me no interceptions. It makes sound decisions. And I think that's what Carson Beck brought to the table. Mark Fletcher, he had a pretty good day, 19 for 90, 4.7 yards carried, two receptions for 25 and a receiving touchdown. I mean, I said, man, I really feel like Fletcher's going to be a good draft candidate when it comes time for the draft. If he enters the draft, I don't even know if he's draft eligible, but he's going to be really good. The guy just had a really productive day defensively. Miami had 5 sacks, 2 interceptions. The Keontae Scott pick 6 for 72 yards. When he's looking at his boys, yeah, he was like, man, that was the time of his life. He's playing free and loving life. And congratulations for him. On the flip side, say it, man. This game was very uncharacteristic of Sayin. Typically what he typically does. He had 2 interceptions, 287. He had good yardage, but he had a lot of had a couple of interceptions. They had no run game. I don't know where Ohio was in that run game, but they had like 0 run game. I think they were averaging like 1.9 yards a carry. Tony, 24 rushes, only 45 yards. And a lot of that was because of some negative yardage they took. But, and of course, Ohio defensively had 2 sacks. I thought it was a good game. I thought defensively, I thought Miami did one hell of a good game. I thought the time of possession, Tony, we know time of possession is 33 minutes to 26. But when you don't have a damn run game, you're probably not going to have as much time of possession. So, and I really felt like that was one of the biggest things. A couple of the three takeaways I took away from it was three fun facts, and I'm gonna wrap it up with that. Is in 2002, Miami went double overtime, lost to Ohio in the national title game. And that was after Miami got that 2001 title, Tony. And then they lost it 0-2 to Ohio. So I thought it was kind of interesting. It's almost like this was kind of a revenge game, but not really because none of these players were around in 2002. But I think for the university itself, it felt like a revenge.
Miami has never lost a national championship game to Ohio.
Well, that's not what I took. When I was reading one of the notes on it.
They might have lost to Ohio State, but they have never lost to Ohio. That's two different in the university.
Yeah, I think I wrote. Yeah, well, that's what I guess when I was saying Ohio, I was talking about Ohio State is who they lost to, right?
Yeah, they lost to Ohio State.
Okay. So if I didn't say state, I apologize.
University. I was just.
Oh no, you threw me for a loop when you said. I mean, I know. I guess I got to say state to clarify. So I apologize if I didn't say Ohio State. I'm sorry, that's my fault. The one thing I thought too was cool was Beck completed 13 consecutive passes in the Cotton Bowl, and I think it's been in 90 Cotton Bowls. That's the first time anybody's completed 13 consecutive passes. I thought that was a pretty fun fact. And then the last one was the Osage safeties. Caleb Downs was the first player to force 2 fumbles in a playoff game. I thought that was pretty cool facts out of that.
Yeah. Ohio State hasn't had a lot of luck on New Year's Eve games. They've lost a few of those New Year's Eve games, so I think they want to stay away from that. Also, on that play you was talking about, the interception for the pick six. Yeah. I believe a lot of that was on the wide receiver's fault. He was supposed to block, and he didn't block him. He just let the guy go, and that didn't make a lot of sense. I think the guy seen it coming, but you got to bump him. You got to do something. Yeah. And it really cost him. Chris, your takes on that game?
Yeah, I thought Ohio State would win, but the big difference in the game to me was Miami's defensive line dominated Ohio State's offensive line. Mm-hmm. That was the big difference in the game. They kept saying uncomfortable most of that game, and they made a couple turnovers, and that was the difference in the game. But yeah, I was surprised that Miami was able to control the line of scrimmage as well as they did. But yeah, that to me that was the big difference in the game.
Yeah, I agree with both of you guys. I was surprised. I'm not gonna lie. I thought Ohio State would win that game. Let's move on to the next game that was played early. Well, I think our special guest is here.
What is up, guys?
Hey, how's it going?
Not too bad.
Glad to have you. This is Juston Grubb. He's also a professional wrestler. Also does a lot of gaming and stuff. So also a huge sports fan. Also, unfortunately, a Notre Dame fan.
We're gonna go there.
little rib there. But and I seen you pick against IU. I seen the pick.
He also coaches high school football.
Yeah, high school football. Yes.
You muted, Killer, or your audio's down. One of the two.
We can't hear you, Justin.
Yep, something happened.
Yeah, he's from Notre Dame. He might not know how to fix that.
Try backing out and coming back in and see if maybe that works. Because we did have you, now we don't have no sound.
We had you, and yep. Well, guys, we'll see if he can get back in, and then we'll get his take on that game. And then we'll go to the Oregon game. Yeah, pretty good football weekend. I mean, well, the last game was the real good game. Friday night's game wasn't too bad. Jay, I'll just get a quick take. Was you shocked by Texas Tech and Oregon?
Yeah, man, I was. I was just really shocked at how Texas Tech could not get their offense. Now, I know Oregon has a good defense, but the fact that you couldn't score one damn point in a whole game, that really blew my mind with the Texas Tech game. I didn't expect them to get shut out.
Yeah, I didn't expect that either. I thought Oregon would beat them, but I wasn't expecting. Oregon don't get no love at all. I mean, they've only lost one game this year, and that was to IU. and but IU doesn't get a lot of credit either. So,
Man, it doesn't have the fact that what was it? Morton, I think, gave him 2 interceptions, and I think, correct me if I'm wrong, I know he rushed. Was it negative? I think I wrote it down. I mean, he didn't rush for a whole lot of yards. Is what I'm getting at. As a team, I think they rushed 30 for 78 with 2.6 yards per carry. Again, Texas Tech had no run game, very little passing game, which is why I said a minute ago what stunned me the most is the lack of offensive production.
okay, see if Justin's on here now.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah. Well, try to. You was here and then you lost you again.
Justin, it's because you're from Notre Dame. Don't take it personal. You're muted right now, though.
I don't think he's muted. I think because he was
on.
No,
he's not.
Well, I don't know what's going on with my mind.
We can hear you now. Now we can't.
Hey, Justin, just hold up signs that says Notre Dame sucks when we ask you to. That's all we need you to do.
He's getting a sign. He's probably going to say F you.
He's probably calling Amazon right now saying, hey, man, I'm returning this microphone.
It's almost like you got a short or something. It seems like.
That's what I think. I think there's got to be a short or something in there, and maybe just wiring.
There you go.
Look at that. Now was that? You got really short fingers. Was everything that short? Because I thought that was like one nub and no fingers. Okay, just checking. Don't worry, you had no sound. We can't hear you. You're muted. You're muted though, Justin. There you go.
Try this again.
Okay.
Yeah, if I lose this, I'm gonna take this back.
We lost you.
We lost you.
It's just not your day, Bubba. It's not your day. See, if you were independent, you'd be probably better luck. All right, we got to carry on, man. He's got to figure it out. Hey, what about a computer bike?
Quiet for 1 second. Can't figure nothing out with you just blah, 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 blah. Damn.
Oh, Lord. Well, he's trying to get it.
Yeah, we can go on.
Okay, guys. We'll go ahead and go to the Oregon game. Oregon, Texas Tech. Oregon all over them. 23-0. 300 total yards of offense. 245 yards passing. Now, they didn't rush the ball great, and that was kind of surprising for Oregon. Only 38. No, excuse me. Didn't have a lot of yards rushing either, but they did have the ball 38 minutes. Texas Tech only 215 total yards and 4 turnovers. 4 turnovers. It's going to be tough to win a ball game, and they were pretty much crushed. Chris, your thoughts on the Oregon Texas Tech game?
Yeah, Oregon looked real good. Dominated that game. They were up. I know they were only up 6-0 at halftime, but they could have been up by a lot more than that.
Should have been. They
were in the red zone like 6 times in the first half, and only came up with the 6 points. But yeah, Oregon. I thought Oregon would win that game by around 10 points. I didn't say it quite dominating them like that, but I thought Oregon would win that game. We hadn't seen Texas Tech play a tough physical team. All we seen them play was Big 12 teams. Their best wins was BYU. It's been their best win. They lost to Arizona State, so like we hadn't seen them against the big some of the stiffer competition, and Oregon just dominated. Especially Oregon's defensive line dominated their offensive line. Their offense couldn't do nothing the whole game. But Texas Tech defensive line had a little bit of success at times. But yeah, the offensive line couldn't do nothing. Oregon was just a little too physical for them up front.
Yeah, I agree with you. Texas Tech reminds me a little bit of IU last year. I mean, they really came on strong this year, but just not physical enough. And I think they figured that out now. They got to get more physical to be able to play in the playoffs. So, and I actually think their best win, Chris, in my opinion, was Utah. They beat Utah this year. I know BYU was ranked, but I think Utah's a better team than BYU. Just my opinion. Jay, your thoughts on this game?
Yeah, I mean, I pretty much put most of it. Looking back on it, really neither team really rushed the ball. Even Oregon struggled. 47 carries, 64, a little over a yard a carry. I mean, neither one of those teams could run the ball, but I thought the biggest key was just Oregon's defense was just crazy. I think the Texas Tech, they turned the ball over 4 times. They couldn't get in the rhythm. 4 3-and-outs on Texas. Or I should they went on third down. They went for it, and they got 4 3-and-outs on third down. And then I think they went 0 for 3 on fourth down. They just could not get anything going. And I think Morton said it in one of his interviews. He said they just could not execute their base plays, which really was obvious. They could not execute. I mean, they really couldn't execute much of anything if you look at it completely. So it was just a great defense against a great offense that was struggling. I thought Texas Tech's defense did a great job. They just couldn't match with their offense. That was ultimately what killed them.
Yeah, I agree with you. Texas Tech defense played a good game. I mean, they had 4 turnovers and was on the field the whole time. So the defense was. So let's try Justin again.
Can you finally hear me?
Yes. Yeah, I can hear you now. Let's go back to the Miami. Let's go to your thoughts on Miami, Ohio State.
I thought Miami played one hell of a game. I thought Miami dominated that. They only held Ohio State to 45 yards. I mean, you want to talk about being exposed. Ryan Day got exposed. Ohio State got exposed. But I think they got exposed in the Big Ten championship. So I thought Miami coming out, smacking them in the mouth. They showed why they should have been one of the top 12 teams in the playoffs. And I thought, I thought Ohio State was going to come out, play with a little bit of fire, and no, they were smacked in the mouth. They didn't know how to handle that.
Yeah, that's one thing that you brought up about Brian Day. That's one thing I didn't understand. I talked to Chris about last night is why Brian Day took over the offensive calling. I know that his offensive coordinator is leaving, but he was still there. So why did Brian Day take over the offensive play calling? And it didn't look good to me at all. So it didn't make sense to me.
No, not at all. I mean, when you look at it, Julian Sayin throws two interceptions, but they had Bo Jackson only running for 55 yards. I mean, you couldn't establish anything on offense or defense really. And every time it felt like you get something going, a mistake here, a mistake there, and then Miami's back up front with all the momentum again.
Yeah, they looked really good in the third quarter. I thought Ohio State looked more like themselves the third quarter, maybe the start of the fourth quarter, and then about that last 8 or 9 minutes of the fourth quarter, it turned into the first half again, and Miami just kind of dominated them again.
Definitely.
Yeah, your thoughts on the Oregon-Texas Tech game?
I mean, Oregon-Texas Tech, that was another game as well. As you saw a lot of, a poor execution of offense. I mean, they mentioned it several times on the broadcasts how the teams that got the bye were struggling offensively. And yes, I could see that with the rust, but at the same time, like you're playing for a national championship, you have to be ready for those games. You have to be ready for those moments. And I thought Oregon, their defense is phenomenal. That true freshman and Finney Jr., I mean, really set the tone for the game. And I think it's going to make up a good rematch for next week against the Hoosiers.
Yeah, Finney Jr. was outstanding, man. He took over that game. He really did. Let's go to the IU game, and let's go to Chris first. Well, let me give some stats here. IU 38-3 over Alabama. Took over this game after the first quarter, pretty much. 407 total yards, 192 passing, 253 rushing. Had the ball for 34 minutes. Alabama only 193 yards of total offense, only 23 yards rushing. Chris, your thoughts on this game?
Yeah, it was just total domination by the Hoosiers from the beginning of the game. Got off to our first possession, didn't look good. Didn't get off to a good start. Gave up 2 sacks and had to punt. But then they got the ball. Our defense held up, and then after that, our offense went to work and never looked back. We dominated them at the line of scrimmage on both sides of the ball. Basically, dominated them in everything. Like hell, we held them under 100 yards basically in both halves. They might end up with 100 yards in the second half, but if it was right at 100 yards because they only had 94 yards total offense in the first half. But yeah, our defense was dominant. If you're an IU fan, you couldn't ask for your team to come out better. And I'm tired of hearing the excuse about these first round buys are bad and it causes rust. Like, we wasn't rusty. You got to be prepared. You got to prepare for it. And I think you see some of these teams just wasn't prepared for it. Like, well, we didn't have no rust, but I know we're the only team that has had a bye in these 2 years that have looked good too. So I get it, but I just think that's an easy excuse for the teams that lost. Is we lost because we had a bye. Well, but you need to figure out how to prepare a little bit better. But no, IU looked good. The hell, they didn't even have to play Mendoza most of the fourth quarter. Played the other Mendoza, which I thought was pretty cool that he got to get some snaps. But yeah, hey. I ain't gonna lie. I've been an IU fan for years, and never thought I'd see us where we're at. But I don't see it slowing down anytime soon because I think Signetti's going to be able to keep it rolling because now he's going to be able to even recruit better talent than what we've had. Well, rated wise, I mean, I think IU's the best football team in the country this year, and I think the way they played all year consistently, they haven't really had a bad game. I think they've proven it so far. You got 2 games left that you got to try to go finish.
Got to try to get the job done. Yeah, I agree with you on one thing. I don't think rust is a thing. I mean, Texas Tech was just overmatched, in my opinion. They hadn't played anybody, and I think they was just overmatched. That's my opinion. Also, Ohio State, like Justin said, they got smacked in the mouth. I mean, they got smacked in the mouth by IU, and then Miami just followed through and did the same thing. So I don't think it was rust. There was no rust really with Ole Miss and Georgia, which we'll talk about in a minute. And I think Alabama just got out physical. I mean, I don't think it was rust. That's just and Alabama had played a game, so it wouldn't rust on. So I really don't think that was a factor.
No, Justin, Alabama just ran into a better football team, and it's just for people that aren't from Indiana or don't watch Indiana football, it's hard for them to believe because they're not used to Indiana football being good. Just like Nick Saban said that he went golfing with a bunch of Alabama buddies during the week, and they were all like, "Oh, we should kick the shit out of Indiana." And he looked at them like, "What? What are you guys talking about? This ain't the same Indiana from years ago. This Indiana is a good football team." So yeah, national or still people outside just still don't have that respect for Indiana yet.
But I will be honest before we move on to Justin. I thought we'd win the game. I really did. I wasn't expecting to beat them like that. I was expecting to be dominant like that.
I talked to Austin yesterday morning, and he asked me what I thought, and I told him I thought IU would win by 10. I thought it was going to be a lot. I thought it would look a lot like the Oregon game when we played Oregon earlier in the year. I figured it was going to be a lot like that game. But no, we just, like I said, from other than that first series of the game, after that, we just dominated.
Yeah, Alabama not being able to run the football really hurt them. But Justin, your thoughts?
You want my opinion?
Yeah.
My personal opinion is I smiled from ear to ear every play, every snap, every time Alabama struggled. I smiled. Here's the real reality. You look at some of the blowouts that we had. We had the 4 blowouts, with Indiana beating Alabama. You had Texas Tech getting shut out by Oregon. Then you had the games the week before that, Oklahoma getting beat by Alabama. You're getting James Madison and Tulane getting thumped. The question is, did the committee get those 5 teams wrong? And I think they did. I think those 5. I mean, granted, Texas Tech won their conference, so they deserve to get in. But I think, honestly, the 2 best teams in the national. I was getting ready to say National Football League. The 2 teams in college football right now. One sitting at home and didn't get a chance to play. The other one's going to win a national championship. That's Indiana and Notre Dame.
I disagree with you. Now, I agree with you. James Madison and the other team shouldn't have been there, but that's the way the rules are set up. Till they change that, that's the way it's going to be. I don't think Notre Dame should have went in over Alabama. or especially over Miami.
Miami, I would have kept Miami in 100%. But when you look at several teams like for example, BYU lost early, but then they lost into the Big 12 championship. They got punished for that. They should have been another team that should have stayed in that that last five or whatever you want to call it. They should have been one of those teams because they shouldn't have got punished for that. That conference championship where they lost, they got punished.
Yep.
They were not
I
in.
see that.
So Tulane, they should have been in there instead of Tulane. Notre Dame should have been there instead of James Madison or Tulane. And then you question Alabama after the dud they laid last week. Do you really think they should be in? I mean, beginning of the year, we look at you go back to your question like they lost to Florida State early in the year. They got dominated by Florida State. And then compared to the two, I just don't think that was really sufficient enough. Well, I think ESPN in the committee was a little bit SEC biased, but it is what it is. Indiana's going to win it all.
What kept them in was beating Georgia, in my opinion.
Yeah, but the thing I do agree is if you're going to punish BYU for losing the conference championship game, you got to punish Alabama for losing in the conference championship game.
Well,
and I believe Alabama got thumped. I don't think they scored a touchdown in that game either.
I understand they beat Georgia, but that's my only thing. If you move out BYU down, you shouldn't move.
Yes.
You shouldn't move Alabama down a spot.
Yeah,
I agree with. I agree with on
that.
I mean,
consistent, but other than that,
yes. Now, and I agree. Tulane shouldn't be there, and neither should James Madison. But the rules are messed up. In my opinion, the other two. If you take James Madison out, I don't think. And I know BYU should probably be in because they only lost one game and then the conference championship. But in all honesty, Texas is a better team than.
Oh, I agree.
BYU.
Texas is a better team. But
so Notre Dame. If you got the best 12 teams, if you're gonna put the best 12 tems in my opinion, the other team should have been Notre Dame at 11 or up and somebody moved back and Texas. That's just my opinion. Texas did have 3 losses though. And people gonna say Alabama had 3 losses, but the other one they played an extra game, but so did BYU. So that is a good point.
Yeah, by the rankings, it should have been if you went by the rankings and if you didn't have James Madison and Tulane, then it would have been BYU and Notre Dame would have got in.
Yes. BYU would have went in over Texas because Texas was 13.
And BYU only had the two losses, but I agree. I think Texas would have beat BYU. I agree with that, but I'm just saying by the way they had it ranked, BYU would have got in.
Yeah, I agree. And I hope they change it where it sucks for those teams because if they play a better schedule and try to get a better strength of schedule, they're going to lose games. So they just really don't belong unless they build themselves up. And maybe they will.
I think that you're going to see a lot of changes, not just in non-conference schedules, but also like schedules in general. You're going to see a lot of non-conference rivalries. For example, Notre Dame and USC. We're no longer doing that conference. For the next 2 years, that rivalry is no longer existent because USC wanted to play us early in the year, and we don't want to play them early in the year. We want to keep them about where we're at, but the reality of that is USC I look at it. USC is afraid to constantly get beat because you look at this. How many bowl wins does Lincoln Riley have with USC compared to winning seasons with Marcus Freeman at Notre Dame? We have more winning seasons versus their bowl wins. So where Lincoln Riley met. So there's that, but then you look at you're going to see a lot of other, I think a lot of other schools. Like I don't see SEC. I see the SEC getting rid of those crappy matchups, like your Tulsa matchup, where Alabama's going to go to Tulsa and play University of Tulsa. I think you're going to see a lot more of those go away, and you're going to see a lot more big competitive matchups and bigger school matchups going forward with the new rule.
One thing that I struggled with, and I'll get your opinion on this real quick, and then we'll get Jay's take. One problem I had with Notre Dame, they had those 2 early losses, but in my opinion, they didn't have any good wins other than USC. And people are going to say Army or some of those teams, that's bullshit. I mean, they weren't a top 25 team, and a couple of other wins. They may have been ranked at the time, but they weren't a top 25 team in reality. So I think Notre Dame's got to strengthen their schedule. I mean, they had 2 early games, but they lost those.
Yeah, but you look at and they only lose by 4 points in those 2 games.
It's still lost.
I know it's still 2 losses. Granted, it was two early losses. You look at that. You look at two playoff teams and you lose by 4 games or lose by 4 points in total versus getting blown out in the SEC championship game, getting blown out by Florida State. So there's a lot of things that there's a lot of fighting, and I look at it this way: like even the ACC kind of screwed Notre Dame in a way because the ACC, Notre Dame and ACC now has an affiliation where Notre Dame, in order for all the other sports for Notre Dame to be in the ACC, they had to play 6 ACC schedule games. So, you look at it, some of those schools that you look in the ACC, they're not good schools. Duke wasn't very, very, very good, but now they win the ACC championship. Where was the reward for that? Like, you could have put them in over Tulane, but them being a conference championship. Put Rudy in. Hey, I agree. Put Rudy in. But you look at that. So now if we take away that affiliation with the ACC, which I think that's coming because I think the ACC burnt that bridge. I think you're going to see Notre Dame change their schedule simply because, all right, well, now that you guys don't want to help us out since we were basically affiliated with you, we're going to go find another conference either to possibly join or run the same type of deal to where we're associated with them, get, those recruits. And rumor has it is the SEC is big on the list.
That'd be interesting. Jay, your thoughts on the IU Alabama game?
Hey, you're
Can't
muted.
hear you, Jay.
Yeah. Hey.
Sorry about that. No, it was interesting. It was incredible to see these 2 guys go at it, right? I mean, there's a lot of things going on there. First bowl game win for your Hoosiers since 1991. So I know you guys are happy. I would be happy. First time since 1998. I know Justin will be happy to hear that. Now that Bama has been beaten by 35 points. So it's been a long time since they've taken an ass whooping that bad. And it came at the hands of Signetti and Mendoza and company. That's pretty cool. Simpson, I feel bad for him. The guy just had a rough day, man. 12 of 16, 67 got hurt. Was taken out of the game. Did have a fumble. Just really nothing could ever get going for that guy. Bama really wasn't on the field a whole hell of a lot. I think it was 34 minutes of time of possession to 25 for Bama. So Indiana very much controlled every bit of that game. I think the bright spot for them was defensively they got 3 sacks because when you look at them rushing, I'd never seen a stat this low before. It was, 17 for 23 yards at 1.4 yards per carry. I mean, they dog stomped and mollywopped the board. I mean, literally, DeBoer. I mean, that was rough. That was a rough game to watch, but a happy game to watch because we all know Frank is a Bama guy. But and again, man, I'm gonna tell you, I got to tip my hat off to IU's run game. Black was 15.99 for a touch, and Hemby was 18.89 for a touch. So both them guys were just killing it. I think you guys had 215 yards rushing. I mean, Bama had nothing. Like literally had nothing. Could not stop the run. Could not stop the pass. You guys did a great job. And Mendoza's 192 and 3 touches shows why he is the Heisman, and it shows why he's going to be the number 1 quarterback going in that draft.
Yeah,
good job for was a good job for the Raiders. I think that's who's lining up to get him. I think.
That's what they're saying. Got a question. I know Feinbaum said this, and I want to see if you guys think so. Do you guys believe Alabama quit?
I don't even know if they got started.
I don't think they quit. I think they just got dominated.
I mean, it was pure domination. I don't think they quit. No. Oh, you're muted though, Justin.
I know. I realize that it's that independent, you know, network. You know. No, I don't think Alabama got dominated. I think not dominated. I don't think they quit. Like watching the game, like Indiana, every facet dominated them. It took like a couple minutes, maybe a drive or two, but Indiana straight up dominated them. And I think even if they would have played Ohio State, I think Miami would have done the same thing. I think Ole Miss would have done the same thing. You look like I don't see it. That's why I question, like, even I think some of the experts like Paul Feinbaum and all of them, they questioned, like, did Alabama really deserve to be in there after the eggs they lay? Because that I have never seen a Alabama team be held to under 50 yards rushing, let alone be held to under 23 yards rushing.
Right.
And simply that Indiana showed up, and that's why I don't care what anybody says. Indiana is the team to beat. They are the number one team for a reason. And I'm definitely interested to see who's going to come out between Miami and Ole Miss, because I don't think Oregon's going to be able to keep up with the way that Indiana played last week.
Well, if they play like they did last week, I think they're going to be very difficult to beat. But whether they can, come up with another game like that.
Yeah, I don't think Alabama quit. I think it was just IU played so well. Because if you look, when they brought in the backup quarterback, that first drive he came in, it kind of gave him a little bit of a spark. Yeah. That was actually the best drive they had.
Best
drive they had all game was when he came in that first drive, and then IU figured him out and slowed him down. But yeah, I think it was just IU was a tough matchup for him, and was way too physical up on the line of scrimmage.
I agree. I mean, Ty Simpson he was 12 of 16 for 67 yards, and then Austin Mack comes in 11 of 16, 103. So I mean, you had better success with your backup quarterback, but at the same time, like, you could not get anything going. And I think it really showed the type of coaching that both teams side. I don't think the all of Alabama and the all of the SEC is slowly going away. And you have a lot, and I think you have the NIL and all these new payment rules to thank for that. But at the same time, it's great to see that the SEC is no longer the powerhouse conference anymore.
Well, yeah, I mean, they're not. I mean, think about it. I mean, what's back in them days, Saban was the master, man. Nobody could beat Saban. That guy could go into a living room and he could convince anybody to do anything he wanted to do, because he was just so charismatic, and the people he put around him, the coaches, the whole 9 yards. It was amazing, And then of course, because if you look, and I was telling Frank this the other day, there's a lot of SEC in the Big Ten in terms of coaching. I mean, you know what I mean? I mean, the SEC may have lost a lot of their dominance due to the portal and due to the NIL, but they still got a lot of influence over the college game of football.
Oh, I agree. They really do.
Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, they still have a lot of influence over it, but I think we're slowly starting to see the influence die out because of the NIL and the separation of talent. Now kids are going to go, hey, you're going to pay me this money to go here. That's fine. If you go to SEC to go here, you're going to pay me money to play here. So you're going to see a lot of fluctuation in a lot of new schools really in the top 25 as the years come.
And let me ask you guys this. I mean, is it really a surprise that the SEC has taken a step back? I mean, I think we all knew when NIL came about, when it first came out, I know every one of us was saying this is not the death, but this is the leveling of the playing fields in all the conferences. Now that there's a level playing field, so I mean, it's not a wonder that the SEC took a step back, because now you guys are able to compete because of NIL, and the NIL is allowed, and the transfer portal has allowed you guys and everybody to be competitive all across the board.
Because now it's just not the SEC paying players; everybody can pay players.
Well,
come on, don't even say that, because you
did.
You gonna tell me that no other damn conference out there is paying players?
Oh no, everybody was playing players, and I think
man.
Yeah, everybody, but nobody had the money like the SEC did.
No, and
the
I think
SEC was getting all the top players.
Hey,
now everybody has money, and the SEC's crying.
And I think the best the best remarks and the best comment was Ed Orgeron. I think he said it on the Pat McAfee show when they talked about the NIL. He says the difference between the NIL now and back then is back then we got to pay, we got to go through the back door. Now we got to go through the front.
Yep. well, hey, the other thing, guys, and you talk about NIL and you talk about getting great recruits. Let's not forget, IU had no 5-star recruits this year, and they had 5 4-star recruits. They had 55 3-star recruits. They had 55 there, but the top 3 schools with 5-star recruits was Ohio State, Alabama, and Georgia.
And that's
about 13 to 14 5-stars, and then had like 25 to 30 4-star recruits.
But then again, you look at it that when you have those stars recruits, what comes behind those 5-star recruits? Money. So, I mean, you look at. I would rather have 55 as a coach. I would rather have 5 or 55 3-star recruits that got to go to war with each other, battle inch by inch, play by play for 45 minutes, 60 minutes of a football game versus 13 5-star recruits that's woe is me, give me the ball, or else I'm going to enter the portal and go somewhere else to get more money.
And what helped?
And so looking at Indiana, that's why Indiana is going to be successful in years ahead, because they're going to be able not only to recruit, because hey, look, Cignetti, hey, all I do is win, and now he's backing it up, which is good for recruiting, and now he's going to be able to recruit more inside the state of Indiana, but also outside of that. And then you look and then you look at like some of these schools like Notre Dame. Notre Dame decided not to go into the portal. And decided not to go into the portal to get a quarterback. They wanted to stick with the freshman quarterback this year. A few schools now are going to that to build a 3 or 4 year run with the recruits that they got versus getting into that to save money for 1 or 2 players here and there.
But hey, Justin, just so we're all clarified, and again, what Indiana did with that many 3-star recruits is amazing. But it also is a testament. 100%. But it also is a testament to 2 things. 1 is culture. 2 is a great developmental staff. Now, not every program has a Cignetti. Not every program has a developmental staff. So let's not paint a picture like if I go and get all these 3-star recruits, I can make them into a team that can beat a team with 5 stars. It doesn't always happen like that.
No.
You have to have you still have to have what I'm saying is you still have to have the right pieces in place, the developmental and the leadership and and the culture, all the things you have to have in place in order to be able to pull that off.
Exactly.
What Cignetti did with that small school, he run, I forget, 25, 30 players that played in his system for 2 or 3 years already and came to IU. So he had players that knew the system. And then when he brought people in that first year, after the second game, he got rid of 6 or 7 players that didn't buy into the system. I mean, he kicked them off the team. I mean, it's his way or the highway, and you're going to play in the system. And if you don't fit the system, you don't want to be a part of the system, get the hell out. I mean, that's it. That's his philosophy. I mean, he did that early on. And the thing that's crazy about IU's running game this year, we had a third running back that's probably as good as the other 2 that got hurt by the game 3 or game 4 this year. So we had 3-headed monster. And you seen what these 2 did.
A lot of people don't realize this. One of our best defensive linemen didn't play yesterday because he got hurt in the during the Big Ten championship post-game celebration. Hurt his foot, and he's out. And he was one of our better defensive linemen.
Yeah, he was celebrating and got hurt. Okay, guys, let's move on to the Ole Miss Georgia game, man. This was a hell of a game. Ole Miss not only defeated Georgia, but they defeated the referees at the end of that fucking game because a couple of those calls was ridiculous. They was trying to make sure Georgia won that game, in my opinion. Especially one of the calls was horrible, I thought. I predicted Ole Miss would win this game. I was 3 for 4 for the week. I did get killed on the Ohio State game. I will admit to that because I thought Ohio State would win that. But yeah, Ole Miss 473 yards of total offense, 362 pass, 111 rush. Big stat here. No, didn't give up any sacks. Georgia 355 total yards, 231 pass, 124 yards rushing. They had the time of possession. They had 32 minutes. Guys, the story to me is this young quarterback, Chambliss. I'd never really heard of the guy too much. I think I seen him play once. 362 total yards and 2 touchdowns. He was outstanding. I mean, he was just outstanding. But like Chris told me, he probably won't be there next year because he'll probably be with LSU. So,
well, he's fighting for another year of eligibility. If he can get another year,
he'll be in LSU. So, and that other real good player too that they had. So, Chris, your thoughts on the Ole Miss Georgia game?
Oh, it was a fun game to watch. Really, it was just the flip of the first time they played. When they played earlier in the season, Ole Miss controlled that whole game, was up by 9 going into the fourth quarter, and then Georgia came back to win the game. And this game was just pretty much flipped. Georgia controlled a lot of this game. Ole Miss made a lot of mistakes in the first half, or they probably wouldn't have been down. But dropping ball, Ole Miss dropped a lot of passes in the first half. They left a lot of points. They left some points on the board in the first half. But in the second half, they were able to come out and clean that up. And it, like I said, was the reverse of the last time. They made the comeback and was able to come back and win the game. Outplayed Georgia in the second half. Yeah, it was a fun game to watch. You have to give a lot of credit to Pete Golding there at Ole Miss to be able to have that team ready to play with everything that's went on over there with coaching staff changes, and you got half your staff coaching at Ole Miss and at LSU right now. And it's going to get real interesting today now that players can enter the transfer portal, because a lot of these Ole Miss players are going to LSU with Kiffin, and you got half the staff that's already going. So it's going to be weird that a team is one game away from a national championship game, but are going to be losing probably a lot of their parts. But you got to give Golding a lot of credit to have that team as prepared as they were and as poised as they were to come back and win that game.
Jay, your thoughts?
Yeah, you're right, man. That was a crazy game. It was a well fought game, real hard game. Both teams came to compete. Neither team came out flat. I don't know how much more you want out of a good, solid. I thought this is the best game I saw over the weekend, just for the fact of how competitive it was and how close it was and things like that. It was just an all-around good game. But again, Tony, yeah, the pass interference calls were crazy. He had that one. The dude got it was Ole Miss caught the ball. I think it was Ole Miss, if I remember saying it. Caught the ball, and it was Georgia. Georgia caught the ball, and the receiver took the dude's face mask because clearly the defender was not looking at the ball. He had his arms draped on Georgia, and then the dude just turned his face mask around when the ball was coming. I don't know if y'all saw that. Almost like to say, "Hey, look, bro, let me help you out. So you don't get a pass interference. Let me just turn your head around." Anyway, the way it happened, it was kind of comical. But anyway, I think I posted in the chat group about that. But yeah. I mean, the calls were crazy, lefts, rights. I mean, they had a couple of where they called it where he pulled the jersey just a little bit. Some of it was ticky tack, some of it was legit. It was crazy. But yeah, Chambliss, that dude. Man, that guy was crazy. 362, 2 touchdowns. I mean, that guy came to play. Georgia, they had, I don't know, man. Georgia they just couldn't get it going, man. And I can't remember what game it was. I don't know if it was this game or if it was a different game I'm thinking of. But there was one game when they sent the people out and then they to kick the punt. And then they changed it to they tried to get them off sites, and then they ultimately did go for it, and they failed to convert. That was
Alabama against IU.
That's okay. I could in my brain I kept thinking about that. I can't remember what game I was watching when I saw that. But anyway, 2 times. One thing I like about this, 2 times Chamblees ran under duress and completed passes. I mean, that guy was running. And there was one where, it was like 3 where he was running for his life and he converts all 3 of them. That was I think it was like the last drive going down the field, and that was right before then the field goal, and then of course the safety and all that stuff came into play. But it was just, and again, both quarterbacks converted on 4th downs when they were trailing. I mean, there was a lot of, they were not backing down, and that's what I loved about it. I felt like, it was a strong fought game, and ultimately, hey, Ole Miss, I tip my hat to you, because you know what? Not having Lane Kiffin there, you could have about 1,000 excuses why you would have lost that game, but the fact that you went out there and got the win, kudos. And against Georgia at that,
well.
It was the second best game of the weekend, because nothing's going to beat the Hoosiers dominating Alabama.
And fuck Hoosiers. Let's go.
Real quick, I did.
Hoosiers.
That's right. Real quick though, and Kirby Smart is a very good coach, and he's won championships, no doubt. He got out coached in that game. He helped cost him that game. If you go there in that 4th quarter, he threw that pass on 3rd down. If they run that ball, there would have been no time left for the other team. It'd have been down to 15 seconds. They could have kicked that field goal, tied the game up, and they would have had 15 seconds instead of having a minute. Why he threw that pass? I know why he threw it. But
yeah.
Why not run the football? Why not? Because they had no timeouts. Yeah. You could have tuck it down to 15, 20 seconds. You kick your field goal
easily.
They would have had no time. They would have had no time to go down there and win that game. So I think Kirby Smart outsmarted himself a couple times in that game.
Yeah, he did. And he is a very intelligent coach, man. But sometimes you can. You're right. Sometimes you can outcoach yourself. Yeah.
But and that was the thing. He didn't trust his defense, because he went for it on 4th down in his own territory a couple times. Yeah. But then why not run the football if you don't trust your defense? Why give them a minute on the clock? So that didn't make sense. I thought he got out coached.
Now I will say this though, defensively though, when Ole Miss coughed up the ball and then Everett ran it in for a touchdown, I thought, okay, man, Georgia's going to get back into this, or really, but it just didn't trigger that safety at the end when the ball hit the pylon. I was like, okay, yeah, that's it. But I think we can all agree that I love listening to Pat McAfee call games. Like when he called the Indiana game, my wife comes in there and said, "Hey, what's you? I never heard no game called like this. What's going on in here?" And I'm saying, "Man, that's Pat McAfee, man." And I think all coverages going forward should be Pat McAfee driven, because I tell you, it was a lot more fun listening to Pat McAfee and them call the game than it was any of the other people. You know what I'm saying? It was crazy. It was crazy.
Okay, Justin, your thoughts on the Ole Miss Georgia game?
I thought it was a really good game. I thought the early turnover by Ole Miss, the scoop and score for a touchdown in the first half, I thought that really shifted the momentum. I mean, you saw it. I mean, Georgia scored 21 points in the second quarter. They went on. I mean, it was 21 to 12 at the half, and then the defense just stepped up for Ole Miss. I mean, Ole Miss came out. Yeah. They shut them down, held them to only 3 points in the third quarter, and then they outscored them 20-10 in the fourth. So it was a testament of who wanted it more. I felt like Ole Miss, they obviously had nothing to lose. You already lost your coach. You're losing more coaches. Who knows who's entering the portal? No. So you had nothing to lose, even if you went out there and lost to a Georgia team who personally I thought I didn't think was going to make it that far anyways. I thought whoever was going to play Georgia next week would be the in favor to win the national, or in favor to play for the national championship, or be a contender to win it. And I don't think Georgia was one of those all year anyways. But I feel like, I see you guys' point where, you could tell he didn't trust his defense, but at the same time, like, with a minute left to go, Kirby Smart, he's there to win it. He's not there to send it into overtime. So I guess he was more going for the win versus, playing conservative. So yeah, I see the double-edged sword there. You either go conserve it, go to overtime, maybe you win, or you just go for the win because it's the big top team. But at the end of the day, I felt like Ole Miss came up. They came out, played like they had nothing to lose, and Chambliss, phenomenal. I think he's going to be. I don't want him to get another year, honestly. I think he should just try to go to the pros, because there's one team I hate worse than Michigan, USC, and Purdue, and that's LSU. So, so we're, it is what it is. But no, Ole Miss. Granted, I think after that game, I think the two best teams in the playoffs still Ole Miss and Indiana.
Yeah, what's crazy with Chambliss is that he just went there as a backup. I mean, nobody ever recruited him, and he played junior college football and stuff, And then he was just thrilled to get on that team, and didn't think he would ever play sparingly. And then the quarterback got hurt, and he got an opportunity, and it worked out great for him. Hey guys, let's move on to some NFL. Let's jump right into it. Let's break it down. Saturday, we got some big games. First of all, Carolina at Tampa Bay. It's for the division, guys. What are you thinking, Jay?
Man, oh man. This is a really hard one, man, because I feel like it's just kind of like, neither one of your teams has really wanted it enough. But Carolina is just really, and I've been on Tampa. I've been trying to, hope Baker, whatever company, could turn that team around. But no, I'm going Carolina. I think the defense, the running game of Carolina is a little bit more than what Tampa's going to be ready for. Tampa kind of struggles a little bit on defense. Obviously, the run game struggles, and I think Rico Dowdle and company is going to do it. I just feel like this Todd Bowles and this Tampa team, I don't know what happened to them, but within the last, ever since they started to get those injuries to Evans and Godwin and Irving and back in the day, they just have not looked good this year at all. I mean, they look decent, but they've not looked great. And I think the only reason why we're even talking about these two teams is because the division they're in is not exactly a strong division. But Carolina, man, I'm going to roll with Carolina on this one.
Yeah, Tampa Bay got off to a great start, and then the injuries, and then Baker's not 100%. I don't know what percent he is, but he's not 100. He may not even be 80%. So I think that's the big thing. It's at Tampa Bay. Carolina's a lot better at home. It depends. If Carolina gets the running game going, and Tampa Bay does struggle with the running game, but I'm gonna give the experience with Baker. I'm gonna go Tampa Bay by a field goal at Tampa. What are you thinking, Justin?
Well, you covered the spread there, I see. So I will take. It's gonna be tough. It's gonna be tough. I mean, I really like Baker Mayfield. I liked the reinvention of himself. Going from the Browns to the Rams, now Tampa Bay, being the leader of Tampa Bay. I really like what Tampa Bay has got going. I just don't think they'd have a more complete team. I think Baker's built for this, and I think he's ready. And I think that they have what it takes to win because they've been in those moments, or Baker's been in that moment. But I think Carolina's hungry. I think Carolina, they haven't been. It's been a while since they've had the win. It's been since Cam Newton. So I think now that they got that, now they're revitalized. They got a strong defense, a good run game. Let's not put Bryce Young in terrible situations. Let him ease his way into it. Let him ease his way into it. Get the run game going, and then let him work as far as. I done lost my train of thought. Let him work in the RPO game more versus trying to let him throw. Like, let him settle down because he's going to have a lot of pressure because a lot of these guys on Carolina's never been in this situation right now.
It's true. Chris, your thoughts on this game?
Excuse me. Yeah, I think it's going to be a good game. Tampa's a 3-point favorite at home. Weird thing about Tampa is they were playing better football before they got all their injured players back. They got everybody back, and everybody been waiting on them to get going. They get Evans back, they get Godwin back. They start getting guys back, and it's went the other direction. Their offense has actually looked a little worse than better. I just don't trust Tampa's defense either right now the way they've been playing. So I'm gonna go with the Panthers here.
Okay. Next up, guys, a big game Saturday, Seattle and San Francisco. It's for the number 1 seed. The loser, I think, goes to 5. Chris, your thoughts on Seattle at San Francisco?
It's going to be a fun game. But the 49ers offense has been on a roll here the last 3-4 games. Brock Purdy's playing the best football he's probably played in his life, at least, especially probably in the NFL. And he's had a lot of good years in the NFL, but this like 5-week stretch that he's really playing well. Only thing that worries me really about the 49ers is they don't really have a pass rush. They don't have a great pass rush because of the injuries to Bosa and Warner. So that's one thing that they haven't been putting a lot of pressure on the quarterback, but they've been Salah's been finding ways over there to keep teams from scoring points. So I like the 49ers here at home. I think their offense is playing at a little bit higher level than Seattle's. I trust Purdy a little bit more than I do Darnold. Seattle has a good defense. I think the 49ers offense is going to be able to score some points. So I'm going to go with the 49ers at home.
Yeah, you kind of stole what I was going to say. I trust Purdy a little bit more than I do Darnold. San Francisco's at hot, and it's at home. If Seattle wins, it'll be because Seattle defense dominates the game. But I'm going to go with Purdy. Like I said, I trust them more than as at San Francisco. If it was at Seattle, I'd take Seattle. Jay, what do you think?
Yeah, I mean, God, this is I agree with you 100% on what both of you guys have said. I definitely think I would trust Brock Purdy a little bit more than I do Darnold. And I can speak confidently on that because Darnold's on my fantasy team, and he has been really horrible the last few weeks. I really thought Rashid Shaheed, when he got picked up by Seattle, was going to help elevate him and help elevate that offense. And it just hasn't done that. The stars of Seattle's offense clearly is Njigba and Chambliss and Walker in that run game. And obviously the defense is their main strength.
Hey, Joe, Kittle is going to be back.
Yeah, I saw Kittle's back too. Yeah. San Francisco, their strength is their run game or their offense. It's almost like you're pitting their offense versus Seattle's defense. I think that's going to be the key matchup in this. Again, McCaffrey has to stay healthy. I always feel like every time I see McCaffrey run, I just pray that he doesn't get hurt because the guy plays so well, and I hate to see him get hurt and miss time. But I'm gonna roll with San Francisco on this, and it's just because for the reasons you just stated. I just feel like that offense is so well done right now, and their defense on San Francisco, although it's not as good as the defense as what Seattle has, it still is a competent enough defense that can hold them enough or hold them at bay enough scoring wise to allow San Francisco to get the win. So I think San Francisco gets it. And that's hard. Okay, and it is in San Francisco too. So there you go.
Yep.
Hey, real quick. And if San Francisco wins this game, they could win the Super Bowl without having to play any more road games the rest of the year. They'd be at home the rest of the year because they'd have the number 1 seed and the Super Bowls in San Francisco. So if they win this game, they don't have to travel no more this season.
Yep, that's true.
Oh, that's
big game. Yep. Justin, what do you think about this game?
Well, if I had to pick, honestly, I would rather have a tie. In my opinion, I'm an Arizona Cardinal fan, so I don't really want to pick this game. However,
my son feels the same way as you because he's a Cardinals fan as well.
However, if I had to pick, I'm going against all you guys. I want Seattle to beat the 49ers. I love Seattle's defense. I love Smith and Jigba. Smith and Jigba saved me and helped me win my fantasy football championship. I am happy. So let's roll with the Seattle Seahawks and let's roll with Sam Darnold. I'm not a big Purdy guy. I'm not a big Mr. Irrelevant guy. And I think McCaffrey's one knee injury away from being done. So let's go Seattle.
Okay. All right, let's go to a couple Sunday games, and then we'll give our picks on the other games, quick picks. The first one we'll talk about, and this may not be a real tough game, especially if Chargers set some players out. But if Denver wins this game, they do get home field advantage, and it is at Denver. So I'm going with Denver. I would have, even if the Chargers play everybody. I had heard that maybe they may not. So which is a little bit weird for me because the game does mean something to the Chargers as far as whether you're 6th, 5th, or 7th. I mean, you're going to be on the road either way, but you might get a better matchup if you win this game. So it could be interesting. What do you think, Jay?
I'm sorry. You said what game now?
Denver and the Chargers.
Okay, I missed that first part. Okay, Denver and Chargers, man. That's a good. It's gonna be Denver's gonna get this win. I know Chris is laughing, but man, Chris goes on. I'll hear about a third of it. No, Denver and Chargers, man. Bo Nix, Herbert's got this hurt hand. Golly, man. I'm gonna roll with Denver on this one. I really feel like Bo Nix and what he's done with that team over there. And I've seen some weaknesses in the where the Chargers have played. They've dropped a couple of games, so I'm not as confident in that team as I am in Denver. I'm gonna roll with Denver. And there's Bo Nix and company. Sutton, I think, gets it done. Harvey's got to have a good day in the absence of Dobbins, but I think he will.
Okay, Justin, what do you think?
I agree with you guys. Agree with Jay. Like I think the Denver Broncos, they get it done. They've been the most complete team as far as the NFC West or the AFC West. Sean Payton has done a really good in developing Bo Nix and that team. You look at you look at the injury report right now. You got Hampton questionable, Moulton questionable, State Bautiste and Herbert all questionable, injured. So the question is, granted, do you want that 5th seed or 5 through 7? You got to pick which one you want to go through. Granted, if you're the 7th seed and you win, you're automatically playing, the 1 team. You could be playing Denver again. You could be playing somebody else. So the question is like, it's how you want to play. It's how you want to look at it. Do you want to try to get that higher seed, or would you rather be healthier going into the playoffs and do that way? In my opinion, if you have a chance for Justin Herbert to be healthier and the team to be healthier to win the champion or to play and pursue for a Super Bowl, just set them, play the 7th seed and go on that way. Or if you think you have a better chance winning out of that 5 seed, then don't sit anybody and play it out.
The reason I think they should play, just my opinion, right now, if you go by whether if they drop to the 7th seed, if Denver wins, New England's going to be the 2nd seed. That means you're going to New England in the cold, and I think San Diego struggles in the cold. I think I'd rather be the 5 seed or the 6th seed, and you still may go in the cold. But I mean, but there is a chance you wouldn't go in the cold. So if I'm them, I think you try to win. That's just my opinion. I think they should try to win the game, but I also understand Herbert's not 100% either. So I can understand if they do set him out. Chris, what do you think?
Yeah, I like Denver here. Chargers aren't playing a lot of their guys. They got this spread at 12.5 points. That right there tells me that Herbert's not playing. I think anybody on that injury report probably isn't playing. Harbaugh's going to try to get as healthy as he can, get his team healthy, and firing on all cylinders to try to make a playoff run. And I think I think it's the right thing to do, just because you're going to have a better chance against anybody you play in the playoffs if you have a healthy Justin Herbert and if you have these other guys on your offensive line and defensive line healthy. Okay. And I mean, you got a guy out there play with a broken hand, like one wrong hit and he's done. He's not playing in the playoffs next week. And that dude don't. If you've watched him play the last 3 weeks with a broken hand, he don't try to be safe about it. He plays the same way he played before the hand was broke. He's still reckless. So, I mean, to me, it's smart not to take a chance of hurting that hand anymore. But yeah, I think they're trying to get as healthy as they can, and so they can try to get firing on all cylinders for the playoffs. But yeah, I like Denver here. 12.5 point spread tells me that sportsbooks don't think Chargers are playing very many of their players.
Okay. And the last game I wanted to break down, guys, it's a big one. Baltimore at Pittsburgh. It's for the playoffs. Somebody's going home. Somebody's going to Cancun. So somebody's going on to the playoffs and have a game at home. That's the other big thing. So, Chris, what are you thinking about Baltimore at Pittsburgh?
This is a tough one. They have the spread now. They have the Ravens as 3.5-point favorites on the road. Looks like Lamar Jackson's going to play for the Ravens, which honestly, I think the Ravens have been playing. But the offense has looked better with Lamar's not been playing the last few weeks, because then they actually run the ball with Derrick Henry. I think the offense has looked a little better with Huntley back there the last few weeks. Just looked more in rhythm. And then on Pittsburgh's side, you don't have DK Metcalf again, and we saw what their offense looked like last week without having him. They don't have a receiver that can win one-on-ones. I like the Ravens in this game, even though I hate to say that because I'd like to see Pittsburgh win because everybody knows I'm an Aaron Rodgers fan. But I just not having DK Metcalf, I think the Steelers are going to struggle to score enough points. So, which TJ Watt looks like he's probably going to play, which will be a plus for Pittsburgh. They haven't had him for the last 2 or 3 weeks. I just don't think Pittsburgh's offense is going to be able to put up enough points. So I'm going to go with the Ravens.
Yeah, I'm going with Baltimore. I expect Henry to run the ball at least 25 times. And if they don't, the coach should be fired. That's my opinion. So I'm going with Baltimore. Jay, what do you think?
Yeah, you got to run Big John Henry. You can't just let him sit there on the pine. Hell no. Let that dude run. No, I'm 100% with you. Especially with Lamar. You don't know if he's 100%, things like that. Just let that dude run, man. Because when he's on, he is on. And if TJ's there, great. But even if he is there, how much of 100% is he going to be? I mean, he just came off that lung injury. I mean, he hasn't played a little bit. I just don't know where he's going to be at physically if he's ready to go in this game. I know they've cleared him to play, but is he game shape, ready to take it on? I know TJ's a tough guy, so if I know he's going to go out there, he's going to play hard. But I think the Ravens have too much. I think Zay Flowers not having DK Metcalf there, that means a lot of the pressure is going to go onto the tight ends. A lot of pressure is going to go onto Jay Warren. And let's be honest, it's not like Aaron Rodgers out there running even though he did tell that one kid, I'm 42 years old, what are you doing? I loved it when he said that to that dude when he was running off the field. That was great. But no, I like you guys, man. I think Baltimore, they're obviously playing for the division. They're playing for a playoff. Correct me if I'm wrong, because if whoever doesn't get in, they're out. They're eliminated after this. So that's a big game. This is going to be chippy. It's going to be nasty. But ultimately, I just think offensively, I think kind of what Chris is saying, offensively, I think Baltimore has a lot going on over there more than they do. The only downside of Baltimore is that defense could be suspect at times. So that kind of worries me about that. But I do think the Ravens get it.
Well, honestly, Pittsburgh can be inconsistent too defensively.
They're
up and down too. They're up and down too.
Another big piece that's missing for Pittsburgh is that tight end Washington, because he broke his. He broke his arm last game, and he'd been one of their top weapons beside Metcalf. So they're missing two of their top weapons on offense.
They got to get the ball to the running backs, passing and rushing. Pittsburgh does if they want to have a chance without Metcalf. Justin, what do you think?
Yeah, it's gonna be a great matchup. It's hard to pick. It is. But if I'm Baltimore, the first thing I want to do is if I'm Harbaugh, is I want to run it right at TJ Watt. I want to give King Henry the ball, tell him run straight at TJ Watt, smack him in the mouth a couple times to see if TJ Watt is game ready. See if he's game time ready. If he is, cool. Then we know, okay, maybe we need to change it up just a little bit and see how we can handle it. But if he can't handle it, Derrick Henry should have 40 carries. Why they still rely on Lamar Jackson while they have King Henry is beyond me. Like, I thought them signing King Henry was going to let Lamar Jackson stay healthier and take a little bit more pressure off Lamar Jackson. But Lamar Jackson, just like Justin Herbert, plays the same way. And I think if they lose this game, I think we're going to see I think at the end of the year or going into next year, we might see Lamar Jackson on a possible new team via the NFL draft. So I think it's almost a must win for Baltimore, but at the same time, you look at Pittsburgh, and I think Pittsburgh should easily win this game if DK Metcalf would be playing. But Metcalf being immature like he has been, I think it puts them in a bad situation. Now they don't have that firepower to spread the field, and I think they're going to focus on Aaron Rodgers, pressure Aaron Rodgers a little bit more, get him to scramble. But then again, Aaron Rodgers is good on the run, so it's going to be a great matchup. I'm going to pick Baltimore by 2.
I just out of curiosity, do you guys think that if Lamar does get traded off, or if he does go somewhere next year, I almost kind of feel like that's them throwing in the towel and going into rebuild mode.
I don't necessarily think that'll be rebuild mode, because that's almost like you look at like the Colts. The Colts, they were just a piece. They were a piece away, and Daniel Jones comes in, leads them to a 7-1 record, breaks, and then gets hurt. So I think if you find the right piece, it's not a rebuild mode. I don't think you're in rebuild. I think
I only say that though because their defense has not looked great. I mean, I don't know if they're full rebuild, but they definitely got to change some things up on that team.
Their defense
I
has
agree.
played a lot better the last 4 or 5
Yeah.
weeks. So
I agree. I think if it comes to a point where you move on from Lamar Jackson, or if you move on from John Harbaugh,
I think that would be stupid.
I mean, great. I think if you move on from Harbaugh, it would be way more stupid to move on from him versus move on from Lamar Jackson.
Yeah,
I think you can get more out of Lamar Jackson than you can getting a new coach. So I would almost rather, like, hey, if we can't get it done here with Lamar, let's go ahead, let's trade him, package him up, maybe get him a few deals out of that, a few picks out of that, and then use the money that we got from trading him and sign guys on the defensive end.
And rumor is that like Lamar could be hard to deal with, and isn't always preparing, and like there's been a lot of stuff coming out here about that, so it'd be interesting. One thing real quick is another thing that really hurt Pittsburgh is DK Metcalf being immature, because if he don't get suspended, I think they win last week, and this game here don't mean shit. They already be in the playoffs.
Yep.
So I mean he really cost them a big chance of where they could have been resting players this week and getting ready for the first week of the playoffs, and instead might not even make the playoffs, all because they get suspended.
I agree, and I think because of the suspension too, it eliminates all of his guaranteed money. So that $40 million guarantee, that he's
it cost him like $25 million.
Yeah,
Yep.
that 40-something million guaranteed that he was supposed to get, you just wiped that away because you got suspended because somebody called you by your real name. Like,
Which I still think is the dumbest thing ever. You can call me Jason Thomas McMahon. What the hell do I care?
right?
Okay.
What the hell do I care?
What do I care?
I'm making $20-30 million catching a football, and you're paying to see me. I don't care if you call me by my real name.
Yep. Okay, guys, let's go on to our quick picks. Rest of the NFL games. First game up is Jets at Buffalo. I've got Buffalo. Jay?
Man, that was perfect time. I hit the mute button when I was sneezing. That was perfect. I'm gonna go with Buffalo for sure.
Okay, and Justin?
Buffalo.
And Chris?
Jets.
Buffalo.
My bad.
Okay.
Yeah, Billy. That's basically what's been coming out about Jackson.
Yeah, and that kind of goes even caveating up to that other question that he had asked. If he was available, would want Dallas. 3 reasons why. Number 1, too expensive, doesn't help out the cap. Number 2, toxic as hell. And number 3 is injury sometimes. And number 4, he's expensive. There you go.
A couple things came to mind when you guys start talking about Jackson and trade. Do you think the Raiders would be interested in giving up that number 1 pick for Jackson?
Yeah, I wouldn't.
Tom Brady? No, I don't think so. I don't think Tom Brady pulling the strings would go. I think if you look at it and you're going to go pick somebody up, there's rumors have it that Joe Burrow's not happy in Cincinnati. I mean, there's a potential that Tom Brady might be like, hey, let's not worry about getting Mendoza. Let's get a guy like maybe we get a guy like maybe we get a guy like Joe Burrow, who's been in the league. Granted, he's injury prone, but
me and Chris already knows where Joe Burrow's going.
But no, Burrow will probably go anywhere. He'll probably go to Minnesota. He's going to go.
He's going to Colts.
He's not going to go to the Colts.
Hey, he don't want to go to that garbage university. That garbage team.
Danny Dimes is the perfect fit for the Colts right now.
I agree.
I really liked what he's done with the Colts. But no, I think you could see Joe Burrow end up in a Minnesota with Justin Jefferson. He's been trying to go back to play with Justin.
The good thing, let me tell you, because Chris, I do think holding on to Danny Dimes, if he's healthy and if he can come back and and play next year or whatever the case is, it would behoove you to hold on to Danny because he's not going to be as expensive as maybe Burrow might be, and that would allow you more money to put into your defense or your wide receivers or what have you. I got to imagine that Burrow's going to want more than what Danny Dimes was going to want.
I agree, and I think they were already on the extension before he got hurt.
I told you guys Tuesday what I think they should do. They should re-sign Dimes and they should try to get Malik Willis from the Packers.
Yeah, I can see that.
That way, if Danny's not ready at the beginning of the season, you have Willis you can use, and then Willis is a good backup.
And the great thing about that is you'll get two quarterbacks for far cheaper than you would get the one.
I like Willis, but I prefer Mac Jones if we could get him.
Yeah, I would. I don't see Malik Willis being back up to the Colts. I don't think. I think Danny Dimes, if healthy, he'll be back. I think if he's not ready to go by week 1 or week 2, they'll probably roll with Riley Leonard, which is fine. I mean, Riley is a solid quarterback. I think with the right system, as far as like Steve Steichen, I think he can develop a Riley Leonard, and I think Riley Leonard can succeed in that program. He just needs a couple years to develop.
Because if you think about it, hey, look, if let's say Danny Dimes is only going to miss 2 weeks of the new season, right? So you only got to go with 2 games, maybe even let's say 3 games. If Riley Leonard can get you 1 out of those 3, and then Danny Dimes comes back and plugs back in, he can keep you. He can keep you. My main thing is, I would much rather see you guys conserve as much of that cap to put in other places on your team that would benefit when he does come back.
I agree, and that's why I said I think even if you have a 5 games first 5 games you have to play with Riley Leonard, or even if you try to give Anthony Richardson another chance, which I don't think Richardson's going to be there next year. I think he's going to get traded. Even if you go 2-3, 3-2, or and bring Danny Dimes back and he gets back to where he was with that 7-1 start, I think that's going to be huge, beneficial and huge for the Colts, and that you can use to sign somebody else or even trade like a Michael Pittman to get somebody better.
Had the best fucking offense in the NFL until he broke his leg.
And you're right, they did. But
he broke his leg, and then we struggled for a couple games, and then he popped his Achilles. Before he broke his leg, we were rolling.
And that's the thing.
And that's why I think. Go ahead.
No, you go ahead.
Now, that's why I don't want to go with, and nothing against Riley Leonard. I think Leonard could be a future quarterback. I don't think he's going to be ready next year, and I want somebody that's ready. So I want a good backup in case Jones is not ready. I want our offense looks so good, and I think we're going to have most of those. Go ahead.
A lot of it's going to depend on what, and only the culture going on this is how Daniel Jones' progress is going as it gets.
Yep.
Yeah, that's going to be the big thing. Whatever they decide with Danny Dimes, like if Danny's not going to be able to go, then I can see them going after somebody to Band-Aid for a year.
Well, they might just bring Rivers in for the first 3 games of the season.
Hey, or they might tank next year and get Arch Manning at 27. I'm just saying.
No. All right, guys, let's move on to the Indy versus Houston at Houston. I normally don't pick against Indy, but I know Rivers is not playing. Houston. This game means something to Houston. It doesn't to Indy. It's at Houston. I'm going with Houston. Chris.
Colts.
Jay.
I love it. Titanic's going down. All the life preservers are there. Chris has one life preserver left, and Chris says, "I'd rather just go down with the ship. Hell with the life preserver." Got you.
He's on that piece of wood.
Hey, listen, I got mad respect for anybody willing to go down with this ship. Hey, listen, man. I got mad respect.
They played hard last week. I
know,
think
Chris.
I got it. Hard again this week. I think
hey, as an Arizona Cardinals fan, we've been at the bottom of the ocean for a good couple of years.
Hey, look, it's kind of one of those situations
where I'm struggling to breathe right now.
You got fins, don't you?
Joe's confident those Texans. Fuck.
No, listen.
Did he bet his life on it? Go Colts!
No, but you guys are right.
This is our Colts. This is our team.
Get rid of Joe. Go Colts. He bet his life on
a bitch.
You looked at the standings. I guess if we win this game, I mean, there's no chance we can win the division. I think Jacksonville has that sewn up, right?
Hey, you hear that? If we win this game, there's a chance we can win the division. Be a Texas fan.
Yeah. I didn't say I was a Texas fan. I was just saying we. Okay, well, fuck you.
You said we. You did say we.
I'm a Cowboys fan. Hey, calm down. Calm down. Can you see that right there?
Oh, Lord.
The bitches. But that's okay. No. In all seriousness, though, I just think the Texans are gonna have too much. They're fighting. They're fighting for their playoff lives too, right? So I mean, I'm pretty sure they're clinched. I don't know, but again, I don't know if they. I'm sure they. I don't know. I don't think they have a shot at the division, though. I think that's pretty much wrapped up for Jacksonville. Correct?
They still have a chance they could get the division if they win and Jacksonville loses.
Yeah.
So
okay, and that's so that motivation right there to get number one in their division and sew up the division would be huge for them. So either way, I'm going to roll with Texans on this. The reason I was asking if they had a shot for the division or not was if they were going to rest players or not rest players. And I don't think they're going to. I think everybody's going to play for that team. So, but that being said, Houston.
Well, and the reason that I'm picking the Colts, Houston, is because they're playing Riley Leonard, and I think they're going to blitz him and they're going to go after him. If Rivers was playing, I might have went ahead and took the Colts because I think they would have a better chance with Rivers than they would Leonard. Just because Leonard's young. I like Riley Leonard. He's just young and ain't played a lot. Justin?
I'm looking at it, and with Jacksonville and playing the Titans, I'm going to have to go Colts on this. Usually week 17, week 18 is always kryptonite for one of the teams in the AFC South. And one of those games either makes or breaks one of those teams. And I think Jacksonville has a more complete team. I don't think they're going to have trouble getting – I don't think they have any trouble getting past the Titans. So I'm going to have to say upset right here. Indianapolis Colts stops the Texans from winning. However, you're right. The Texans still can have a chance to win the division. They have to win the game, and the Jaguars have to lose. I just don't think that's going to happen. So I'm going to go Colts upset by 3.
Okay. Next game, guys. Cleveland at Cincinnati. I'm going with Cincinnati. Jay?
That's a hard one, too, man, because neither one of these teams are – playing all that well, but I know that Cincinnati has been really suspect on that defense. And I'm gonna put is Judkins playing? Last time I saw Judkins, he was questionable. Is he playing in that game?
I don't think Judkins is.
I don't think he's playing either.
Didn't Judkins break a leg or something? I think he's out for the year.
I don't know the severity of what his injury was. Last time I saw him,
I was thinking he broke his leg. I was thinking he was out for the season.
Yeah, I think he is.
Yeah, he's out for the year, broken fibula.
Okay, yeah.
Well, there you go, right there. So they're not going to have. Cleveland is not going to have much of a run game. I'm going to go with Cincinnati on this. I think it's going to be close, but I'll go with Cincinnati on it. I believe Burrow a little bit more in that defense, but it's going to be an ugly game, I think. Honestly, I think it's going to be an ugly game.
What do you think, Justin?
Shador. Shut
Oh,
door
no.
Sanders.
Oh God.
I'm
I
picking
knew
the
there was
Clippers.
something wrong with you. Okay. Hey, Chris.
I'm going with the Cincinnati, but Joe, the Texans and Jaguars game are at the same time. Joe was asking that in the comment section,
Okay.
but yeah, they both play at 1:00 Eastern. But yeah, I'm gonna go with
Chris-
Cincinnati in this game.
Okay. Next game up, New Orleans and Atlanta. Man, this is tough because New Orleans has been playing really well. You never know about damn Atlanta. It's game to game how they're going to look. It's at Atlanta. Cousins has been playing pretty good. I'm going to go with Atlanta, even though New Orleans has been playing good. I'm going to take Atlanta at Atlanta. Chris?
I'm going with the Falcons here. The Falcons are going to win this game, and there's going to be that tie for the division possibility. I don't know what just happened there, but Falcons are at home. If this game was in New Orleans, I'd probably go with the Saints. Saints have been playing some good football. They've won 4 or 5 games in a row. I think they might have found him a quarterback in that rookie Shook. He's been playing well. They've looked like a totally different team since they brought him in over Rattler. But with Cousins playing, Falcons offense has looked pretty good the last few weeks. They're at home. I think Atlanta gets the win.
Justin, what do you think?
Yeah, I'll have to say Captain Kirk and the Atlanta Falcons. Captain Kirk.
Okay.
I love Kirk. I love me some Kirk Cousins. No, I like the way they've been playing. I'm not a big. Was never a big. What's the quarterback's name?
Penix, Show, Rattler, Tyler. What are we looking at here? What team? What team are you talking about?
The Falcons team. The Falcons quarterback.
Penix.
Oh, you talking about Penix?
Yeah, I was never a big Penix fan.
No, it's not Penix. It's Penix. Like Penix.
Penix.
Penix Jr.
It's penis.
Honestly, I mean, granted, yes, I get it. Like a younger guy, I think Captain Kirk making all that money should not be sitting the bench. Granted, now that he's playing, Atlanta's been playing great ever since Kirk's been in. They've added a little bit of spark. I love the run game. I just think Atlanta right now against the Saints, I think Atlanta has the better team, and I think Atlanta looking forward is trying to put themselves up there in the division. The division's terrible. I think it's, but I think it's better. It's better than a little some other divisions. But yeah, I think Atlanta wins and helps out. I would say help out whoever is going to win between the Tampa Bay Buccaneers and the Panthers.
If I remember right, Chris, if Atlanta wins,
Atlanta wins, Carolina's in.
Okay.
Yeah.
No matter who wins that game.
What? Yep.
So yeah,
Okay,
I think Atlanta wins and Carolina gets in.
Okay, Jay, what do you think about the Atlanta New Orleans game?
Yeah, when I think about it, man, Kamara's out, Olave is out, Tipton, their other wide receivers on the IR, and their right defensive end, Breesy is out. They got some. I don't think they're going to have enough, man, to compete. I don't think they have enough talent or firepower to compete with Atlanta. Unfortunately, I think Atlanta's got a little bit more firepower than what they do. So, with that being said, Tyler Show, though, Show, however you want to say his last name, I think he's going to be a really good quarterback for this team going on in the future. But for right now, man, Atlanta's going to take this game, and Cousins will get a win off this one.
Okay, guys. Next game, Green Bay at Minnesota. I don't know if this game means anything for sure for Green Bay. I'm going to go with Green Bay, though, at Minnesota. Justin.
Yeah, I'm going to have to go Green Bay. I mean, Minnesota, they don't really have, they've kind of been a disappointment as far as teams in the league this year. I thought maybe with JJ McCarthy, they'd be a little bit better offensively, but they have struggled. I almost wish makes you think man, maybe you should have kept Sam Darnold instead of letting him go. But I mean, you get it. You got a rookie quarterback that you drafted in the first round. You wanted to give him his opportunity, his moments, and I just think that maybe the experiment was a little bit too soon. So yeah, I just think Green Bay's defense and Green Bay's teams are much better, and I think Green Bay pulls it off.
Okay, Jay. Green Bay at Minnesota.
Yeah. So the good news for Green Bay, right, is it looks like Love is going to be playing, not this game, but they're going to play him in the playoffs. So really, for Minnesota, for Green Bay, they've already secured their playoff spot. They're not going to get the number one spot. They're going to have to play in round one, regardless of whatever happens. If I'm Green Bay, I do think Green Bay wins it because Aaron Jones and a couple of the guys are out for Minnesota as well. So they've got some key injuries over there on that team as well. I'm going to roll with Green Bay on this. And I think the better light for Green Bay, or the more newsworthy thing for Green Bay, is the fact that Love will be playing in the playoffs. And that's a huge thing for Green Bay.
Yep. Chris, Green Bay, Minnesota.
Joe, the last I heard, they didn't know if Diggs was going to play this game or not. I figure he probably is not going to for Green Bay.
That's what I heard. I heard he wasn't playing.
I like Minnesota in this game. Packers are starting Clayton Tune at quarterback. Okay. Love has been cleared from concussion protocol, but they've already announced they're sitting him out this week. And they're starting Clayton Tune. So I don't know if that means Willis must still be banged up as well. But yeah, they got the spread at like 8.5 now. But yeah, I like Minnesota at home in this game because Green Bay are going to rest some of their guys. So.
Yeah.
Next game up, guys. Tennessee at Jacksonville. I'm taking Jacksonville. Justin.
Jacksonville.
Chris.
Jacksonville.
And Jay.
Duval.
Oh, you did it wrong. It's Duval.
Shut up, Justin. Everybody asked you.
Oh, so I assume you're taking Jacksonville, Jay. Next up, Justin's team, Arizona at the Rams. I'm taking the Rams. Justin, what are you doing?
The Rams.
Chris?
Are the Rams playing their guys?
I don't know. I don't think they can move up any.
Let me see this. I was trying to find the spread. I'm going to go with the Rams.
Arizona just can't find a way to win. They play okay, but just.
Yeah, I think the Rams are. If I remember, I think I heard Sean McVay say that he was playing his guys. So, and the spread's only 7.5. So I would say that they're playing their guys. So I'm gonna go with the Rams.
Jay.
Yeah, given the fact that the Rams aren't going to be sitting their people, it's going to be the Rams, right? Cardinals, that team is, like you said, it's in a disarray. They got so many questions to be answered. They got, 2 of their running backs, I think, on the IR.
3 running backs on the IR.
Is it 3 now? So now they got 3 running backs in the IR. Brissett, I just don't know what this Arizona team is doing because, or who they are yet, because I don't know. We don't know what's going on with Kyler Murray and so forth. But either way, that's a topic for another day. In this particular game, I'm going with the Rams.
Next game up, guys, Dallas at the Giants. Jay, who you taking?
Any of you people,
Dallas,
if any of you people picks the Giants on this, I swear to God.
I guarantee you it's
I'm kidding. No. Hey, with Dallas, I think they'll finish strong. I think they're playing the Giants, right? It's not like they're going up against the hardest damn team. Not that the Giants can't pull off a surprising win because they did against the Eagles. Okay, but at the end of the day, I think we're going to go out on top. I think we'll get the last win, and that's it. Is it again? I can't remember. Is that game in Dallas or New York?
New York.
Yeah,
I'm going.
Okay.
I'm going to take Dallas. I'm going to take Dallas. Chris.
Giants. I watched Dallas barely beat a banged up Washington team last week, and this Giants team is better than that banged up Washington team right now. And this Giants team's at home. I think the Giants get this game.
Justin.
Now you put me in a tough spot. I really thought you were going to go with the Cowboys. So now I got to sit here and question, like, do I think Dak Prescott finishes strong, or do I think the Giants win? Well, there's been 3 different types of time zones that we keep living in, where we live in a time zone where a timeline where, you know, now we getting all these crossovers from different TV shows and everything like that. And then we live in this we live in a time zone where or timeline where Indiana is about to win a national championship. And then we are in a timeline where Cowboys fans are still living in 1996. Give me the Giants.
Hold on a minute. Now, Justin, you seem like a pretty okay
Hey,
guy.
Justin, he's a
Hold on. Now, Justin, you seem like a pretty good, all right guy. You look like you've been on the couch. I don't know if you lift weights or nothing. You kind of got a small one kegger down there, but that might work in the wrestling world. That might work in the wrestling world, but you can't come on this show. Look, one thing we know about you are not psychic. And one thing I know about me is I am a Cowboys fan. And I'm pretty sure with the statement you just said, there's not a person on this panel that would say that Jason is in the delusional view. Does anybody on here say it? Because anybody ever heard me say I live in the blue? Please.
He didn't say Jason. He said Cowboy fans.
Yeah, I said Cowboys fans. I didn't say Jason.
Cowboy fans. Shut
He did. He didn't say
the majority
Texans
of Cowboy fans are delusional.
Jay, now do you agree with that?
You would even say that.
Yeah, I do. But here's the deal. And understand this. No matter what, man.
And anyway, you're a Texans
No
fan.
matter what. Your Arizona Cardinals still suck. I can't give Chris shit. I can't really give Tony shit because they actually have a more recent Super Bowl. So they kind of are grandfathered in, and I can't pick on them. But Justin,
hold on.
But Justin Grubb, look, your last name is Grubbs, just like when I find in my dirt, a bunch of grubs.
Hold on. Just to add fuel to the fire. We have made it to more Super Bowls than you guys have since Tony Romo have been your quarterback.
Hey, watch this. Every loser on the face of planet Earth will take comfort that we've been to more Super Bowls without actually winning one. I congratulate you. Thank you for your participation trophies.
All right, guys, let's go on to Kansas City at the Raiders. I don't know. I don't know who's playing quarterback for Kansas City. It's at the Raiders. I'm gonna go with the Raiders.
Who's playing quarterback for them?
I can't pronounce his name. They'd probably be better off. I'm going with the Raiders. Chris?
Fuck, I don't.
Chris don't even know how to answer that. He's like, man, what you want me to say?
I'm gonna go with the Chiefs just because I can't pick the Raiders, and I think the Raiders don't want to win because they want to make sure they get that number one pick.
That's a good point.
So I think the Raiders are going to do everything to lose this game. Hell, they might get a couple safeties on purpose just to give their team some points. So I'm gonna go with the Chiefs.
No,
Okay,
Tom Brady as the majority owner or a minority owner of the Las Vegas Raiders, you think they're going to throw the game? No, I'm just kidding. I do see the Chiefs winning. I do see the Raiders taking to get that first overall pick, and I see Fernando Mendoza being picked number 1 overall.
And Jay?
Oladikin. Do I believe in Oladikin? That's his name. Oladikin. It's Chris Oladikin.
Have you watched?
And I'm going to stick with that pronunciation because I feel like it's pretty accurate. With that being said, hell no, I ain't picking. I mean, and I never thought I would say Raiders on this type of game, but I do feel like they're going to get that job. Now, but Brock Bowers is out, so they don't have their star tight end. That's like, this is a hard one. Nope. I'm going to go with the Raiders on it. I'm not going to second guess. Going with the Raiders.
Okay.
And it's in Vegas.
Yep. I'm going to go next game up, guys. Washington at Philadelphia. I got Philly. Jay?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, no, I'm definitely going Philly on this one. Washington is just, this rebuild. Not rebuild, but I think this year is definitely over for them. No, I'm gonna stick with them. With the Philly may be a lot of things with that on that offense, but I think they can get past Washington. I don't know, but are they playing all their players? Because really, this game is nothing for Philly. They can't get better home field position. They certainly have already wrapped up their game. would they want to rest, or do you think they would play? Because they really aren't playing for anything.
They're only 3.5 point favorites, so I would say they're playing their guys.
Yeah.
All right,
I think it could make a difference on their seed, second or third seed, maybe. That'd be it. Chris.
Yeah, Eagles.
And Justin.
Yeah, I'd have to say Eagles as much as you love. I don't know. I it's really tough. I hate to see teams sit players, but at the same time, you get it because you're playing for the Super Bowl. You're playing for there's a lot at stake. I would like to see a lot of these teams play healthy players, especially as a fan, you pay to see those players. You get it. If the Eagles are playing everybody, then the Eagles 100%. They have struggled on offense. They gotta figure out where that team is going into the playoffs, because honestly, I don't have that confidence in this team to repeat. The team that I see on paper right now, I don't see them even close to getting out of the first round, to be honest. So they really need to make a statement win here, I think. So if they're playing everybody, I got to go Eagles by 10.
Okay. And guys, next game up is Miami at New England. I'm taking New England. Justin.
New England. I believe in Drake May.
Yep. And Jay.
Yeah, no, I'm picking New England, and I'm curious to see how well. The only thing I'm curious about is how well May does play in this, because that really there's a lot bearing on that for his for the MVP. So that's really what I'm curious about. But yeah, definitely New England.
Chris.
New England.
Okay, and guys, the last game we have is Detroit at Chicago. I'm taking Chicago at Chicago. Chris.
Yeah.
Chicago.
And Justin.
I've never been a big Caleb Williams fan. No, never root for Caleb Williams. I thought Caleb Williams was a terrible quarterback when I watched him play and throw 4 interceptions when I was in the end zone at Notre Dame Stadium. Give me Lions by 13.
Oh, okay. And Jay.
They call me delusional. Okay. Roger that, Ghost Rider. Pattern is definitely full. The Lions are way too inconsistent for me. Way too inconsistent. And I think and I still think the Bears, they got that fight in them. And I know Ben Johnson, that dude's gonna have them ready. And again, I think that's one of the best that's ever happened to that franchise was Ben Johnson. He definitely has turned them around a hell of a lot. I'm going Bears.
All right, guys. You guys got anything before we get out of here?
No, other than the fact that we'll be back on this is Friday, so we'll be back on Monday. If you guys got any shows going on this week or weekend,
Nope.
I mean?
Nope, not this weekend.
Okay.
Ready to watch the Hoosiers play next Friday night.
Hoosiers!
Yep.
I don't have Texas in it, so
Yeah.
I like to got a little love. But I really don't want you to win. I really don't want you to win because I don't want to hear Gonzo coming here talking this Big Ten mess again. I'm telling you right now.
Well, you're already going to hear the Big Ten mess. We got 2 of the Final Four teams.
I feel like, hey,
SEC has a losing record in bowl season. You don't want to get me going about that. The SEC is not dominant.
But that's the question. Hold on. That's the question now, Chris. That's the question. And that's really for everybody on this panel, not just Chris. So we're going to end the show with this last question. I really think this needs to be asked. Okay. So, yes, SEC has done terrible in throughout the playoffs. I agree with you. No, but if by some chance Ole Miss pulls it out and wins the national title, how do y'all view it? How do you view the SEC then when they had the number 1 spot?
Big Ten's still the better conference.
If they take it away. I mean,
Big Ten's still the better conference. Big Ten's still the better conference.
Okay.
You know why? Because the SEC, when I would say that the last 2 years when Big Ten teams have won it, the SEC, we're still the better conference. You guys just won it because you had an easier path there. So same damn thing. If you guys get lucky and win it this year, Big Ten's still a better conference. We won the last 2 national championships.
Yeah, but you couldn't say Ole
Miss.
Miss had it easy though, because going through Georgia is not exactly easy.
I didn't say they had it easy.
No, you said the easy path there though.
No, I'm saying that's what the last 2 years when Big Ten teams have won it. That's what the SEC has said about the Big Ten. That's why we had teams in the national championship. We had the easy way.
I got you.
Ole Miss didn't have an easy way. But if you look at Ole Miss record, they only have like 3 wins over teams with a winning record this season.
Yeah, I don't look. Do I expect Ole Miss to pull it out? I don't.
The SEC is supposed to be this real tough schedule, but look at all these teams with losing records. Ole Miss played.
I did want to ask this earlier, and I did. Watching that Georgia game, and Georgia, Mississippi both have very good offenses, but they were lacking some on defense. Both teams' defense did not look. Mississippi did look better in the second half, but in first half they didn't look great. I mean, they give up 34 points, so the defense didn't play great. Yeah.
To be honest with you, to me, that's the difference right now between the Big Ten and the SEC is the Big Ten defenses are a lot better than the SEC defenses.
So do you think Miami?
It used to be the other way. It used to be a little bit more the other way, but right now, if you think about it, like Ohio State was the number 1 defense in the country. Indiana's the number 2 defense in the country. Oregon, I think, was like 5 or 6. Like
Iowa was up there.
Defenses
Iowa was up there
in the Big Ten are the top defenses. Iowa had to get and I think that makes a difference because the Big Ten teams are playing those defenses all season. So I think you see that when you get in the bowl season and the bowls and these playoff games is the Big Ten teams are a little more prepared against the defenses because they see those type defenses a little more.
You know what I was thinking about? If you really think about it, I know we were talking about defense. If you really think about it, because I always thought defense wins championships, and it does. But you know what? Here's the thing, though: if you don't have an offense that can score points, or at the very least, control the time of possession, which allows your defense to rest. Because if that offense is not doing much for the time of possession, then that defense at some point is going to get exhausted and just be done.
Yeah, and Jay, that's why IU's been so good is because of our balance. We have a run game, so we can control time of possession. And then we also have a pass game. Our balance on offense is what really helps us because then our defense can get some rest because we can put drives together where they're not out there all the time.
Guys, I think I seen earlier Miami was favored in that game against Mississippi. I thought I seen they were 3-point favorites.
I can tell you.
IU was 4 points, and almost positive they said Miami was 3 point, which surprised me.
Miami is a 3.5 point favorite right now on FanDuel. And IU's a 4.5 point favorite right now on FanDuel.
I was watching ESPN, so it's a little bit different. But yeah, does that surprise you guys that Miami's favorite?
It does me. I thought Ole Miss would be probably about a 3.5 point favorite.
That's what I thought.
I don't know. I think the way Miami dominated Ohio State throughout the game, I think they showed that they were
they're a good team.
I think they were a more complete team than Ole Miss. But I think Ole Miss does have that great offense, and but also so does Miami. Miami has Carson Beck, the 7th-year senior, and so I mean it's going to be a really good matchup. I don't see it being a close game. I do see if Miami controls what they did against Ohio State, I could see it being a low-scoring game. But I think this could be a dogfight. I think this could be a shootout with 2 high-scoring offenses, and it's going to come down to a 1 or 2 possessions in this game.
I don't think Miami.
Ole Miss wants it to be a shootout.
Yeah, that's what they want. I think Miami wants to keep it in the 20s. I think that if it gets into the 30s, I think Miami's in trouble. That's just my opinion.
I agree. I think if it's a shootout, if it's a shootout, Ole Miss wins. But I think if it's a dogfight and a scrappy game, Miami being the Canes, I think that's what they're built and known for. Even in the previous years, you go look back, Miami when they've always been that good team or have always been good, they've always had a killer defense. And so I think if the defense controls the game and holds them, I think then Miami wins. But I think a shootout goes into Ole Miss favor.
Two keys for me. I think Miami's got to run the football, which I think they can on Mississippi. I think they'll run the football on them. And I think the other key is, can Miami's defense get to Mississippi's quarterback, because he is very mobile and he made a lot of plays happen where they destroyed Ohio State's quarterback. They had him thinking, at least other than the third quarter, for 3 quarters of that game, the first half and the fourth quarter, they had him in a lot of trouble. But now in the third quarter, he looked pretty good. But when they got pressure on him, he struggled. And he was one of the best at completing passes, and they had him in a lot of trouble most of the game. I think Miami's got a shot, but I think it's got to be 23-20. I don't think it's going to be a blowout. It's got to be a close game, and I think Miami's got a shot. Mississippi does have a real good field goal kicker, though.
Yeah. Should be interesting, to say the least.
I think both games are going to be good games, but
I'll be honest with you. Oregon worries me for one reason. It's hard to beat a team twice.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I do have a lot of confidence in Cincinnati. I think they'll be ready. I think as long as Indiana don't shoot themselves in the foot, I think they'll be ready and they'll win the game.
Don't worry. When they do, I'll offer you a bandage for 35 cents. Don't worry about it. You can pay me you can pay me over time. Not a problem.
If we play like they did, if they play like they did over the week or yesterday, I don't see anybody beating them. Like if our offense and defense are playing at that level, I don't see anybody beating us.
And this goes back to what we talked about earlier.
We'd have to beat ourselves by turning the ball over or making mistakes if we're playing at that level.
But this goes back to what we were saying earlier, and Tony, we talked about this a long time ago: culture versus talent. And you guys got a hell of a you don't have with the number 3 recruits. You didn't have all the talent to work with, but you had a great developmental staff, and you have a great coach, and you have a great culture, and that's showing.
Half of the country. I mean, it's hard to argue.
No, that's what I'm saying. You know what I'm saying?
You got a bunch of players that feel disrespected and playing for fire, man. Them running backs, them defensive players. I mean, they're playing lights out right now. Trying to prove themselves. And a lot of them guys are going to be in the NFL.
Well, Signetti said when he's looking at the transfer portal, he's not looking for potential. He's looking production over potential. That's why a lot of these guys he got are guys that played a lot of games.
Yep.
He didn't care if it was at a big school, like what school. They played a lot of games. They had experience. It was all about production, and were they going to fit into his culture?
Yeah, his system and culture. Yep, I agree. Jay, did you watch the Texas-Michigan game?
No, I missed that one, unfortunately.
It was a good game.
I missed that game. I'm still angry about that.
Michigan controlled it, but other than the last 8 minutes of the game,
Michigan had the lead with like 8 minutes left in the game and ended up getting blown out.
Texas had that like that one game where they went crazy and scored like 21 points in the fourth quarter. That's what happened.
No, I was too busy. I was invited to a party and I had to go, unfortunately, because it's my wife's work, and I was really upset because I don't like missing my games.
Archie Manning looked good. He looked good.
I'm telling you, man. For Texas, number one, I'm glad they got the win over Michigan. That's a Big Ten school. We know Michigan, how good Michigan was 2 years ago or a year and a half ago. They were national champs, so we know what they are. But I was really impressed with just I'm really impressed with how Archie Manning started the season, where it wasn't good. Matter of fact, it was downright ugly. And where he's at now finishing this season, because that really gives me some level of hope going into next year that, because I know Archie Manning's going to play great next year. I think he's got enough confidence now. I think he's got enough time and reps in.
I heard he's transferred to LSU.
Now, I'm sure you heard a lot of things. It's okay. The problem is you got to discern what's from fact and fiction, or nowadays you got to discern AI versus non-AI. And I think Justin is AI because he has a little bit of a glare in his screen. But that's neither here nor there.
He's going to come to IU. He's going to take the
I'm not here.
Spot.
Is that what it is?
Yeah, I'm not here.
He's going to go to IU and take Mendoza's spot?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, hey, listen, don't you have anything Alberto to contend with? But shoot. Nah, well, I do want to talk. I want to get you guys' thoughts because I want to get you guys' thoughts on what you think Alberto is going to do when Mendoza leaves and what y'all think IU's direction is under Alberto. So that should be interesting.
They'll bring another quarterback in. They'll bring another quarterback in. I'm not saying that he won't get the job, but they'll bring another quarterback in.
Oh, for sure. I'm sure they will because they had to have competition at some level.
Yep.
All
right,
guys.
go
ahead. Go ahead.
No, I was just say we'll be back Monday. We'll be back Monday at 2.
Hey, make sure you give us subscribe if you want to hear more of this craziness on Gonzo's Sports Room YouTube page and Elite Sports and Entertainment's page. Justin, we appreciate you coming on. Don't really care that you're a Notre Dame fan because you know why? This panel is DEI certified.